So LBC X. So LBC is a 65-year-old company, very traditional, 8,000 employees, operates in 25 countries. So the idea 3 years ago is to set up a startup company, very small team, 30 to 60 employees, with the X factor, the technology as emphasis on what we do. And the key here is it's sort of a CSR, activity of LBC Express, wherein we need to grow the SME segment because it's really the SME segment that would really help solve our economy. Right now, we're thriving on the OFW remittances, the call center industry, as well as tourism, but a key component is SME, which is the topic today. So what is LBCX? So what do we really want to do? We want to deliver better experiences because as we know, e-commerce is a good, it's a hot topic right now. You have not heard Alibaba just put in $1 billion to, acquire a majority stake in Lazada. So, and one of them is going to be Philippines. So it's going to be exciting times ahead. It's going to, open up a lot of channels for so many people and with the technology coming in. So on LBCX side, we want to deliver better experiences because it's all about that lifetime value of the customer. Like if someone buys online, they have a great experience, they tell 10 of their friends, and more people buy. On brands who have a physical store is you don't need to be hung up on an online store because a lot of people research online but purchase offline. So we also have solutions for that, like a shopping tablet wherein, your store is small, it doesn't carry all the inventory, but it's, somebody comes in, you don't have stock, but you can order, and then next day they can come back and then pick up the item. So there's so many things we can really do to give it a better experience. And you can see why the X, so it's simple, secure, certain, seamless. So just to share a bit is everything we do, if you do it online or even mobile, the mobile phone, the screen's so small, so you need to make it as simple and as easy as possible. The next concern is why don't people buy online? We're a low trust society. People are afraid to buy online. They have heard so many horror stories of stolen data, stolen credit card information, of scams left and right. So we need to make it really secure. Certain, like if I buy online, would it arrive? Would it come? Would it be the right specification? Is the picture just a nice picture and the item that arrives is a different item? So it has to be certain. So we need to give that certainty. Seamless, it's all about experiences. So we need to make it a holistic experience. So we'll discuss, we have a lot of different products or solutions that we cater to on the payment logistics. We'll talk about Check Me Out. Okay, so checkmeout.ph, it's one of our newer products, and we'll discuss that a little more. So the idea is, let's not be obsessed about having your own, e-commerce site like Magento, build yours. It's very expensive. You need to have that security, HTTPS, Norton antivirus. There's so many protocols, and how do you handle payments and everything? Because as SME, the only thing you want is grow your sales, right? You just want more sales, more revenue. You don't want the headache of handling, hey, how do I collect the money from the buyer? How do I ship it? How do I call the courier and so on? So Check Me Out is an automated way. I'll show you step by step later on how it works. And then the beauty here is anyone can set it up. We give you a link, and the link is probably checkmeout.ph/LBC and the number. So it's a very short URL that you can easily share in Facebook, in Twitter, via text or via email, because let's not force the buyer to go to a site. It's very expensive. It's more of we can do the transactions offline and use Check Me Out, which has a cash on delivery, which is 80% of e-commerce transactions right now, because your store can be physically in Manila, but let's face it, over 100 million people in the Philippines, 80-90%, it's outside the Metro Manila. So how can you deliver to them? And when you deliver, they want to have that peace of mind. So cash on delivery, even on a global level, it is king. Been to Europe, been to US, in ASEAN, COD is still, cash on delivery is still the most common one because unbank is high and nobody has credit card and nobody, everybody's afraid to buy online. They might, because of fraud and stuff. So we'll talk a bit about the Philippine scenario. So again, the critical here is we're a big population. Asia, after Indonesia, which has 250 million people, we're the second biggest in ASEAN, so 107 million people. We have 42 million people in Facebook. Maybe some people even have 2 Facebook accounts, so everybody has a Facebook. If you have maids at your home, you can ask them. They probably would have a Facebook account already, so everybody has Facebook. So we're a social bunch of people. And then but mobile, right? A lot of people, 20 million smartphones, might have heard it before. So a lot of people are going mobile right now, and it's the cheapest way to, keep a relationship with OFWs. 10 million OFWs, how do you get in touch? Through mobile phone, through internet. So the internet revolution is really here. But what are the challenges? It's more of nobody has credit card. 3-4 million credit card, unique card holders. 73% unbanked. This is from the central bank data. So we're also helping out with BSP to come up with some regulations to help out, to be inclusive, right? Financial inclusive. Because a lot of people who have a bank account, the informal sector, because people who have a bank account, they typically work in, a white-collar job where payroll is required. But the informal sector, where they get their salary through cold cash, won't have a bank account. So it's still a big chunk of people who don't have credit card and banks. And the next challenge is we have 7,107 islands during low tide, and high tide is a different scenario. And we're continuously discovering more islands, so it's difficult to deliver on a nationwide level. But we want our products to reach every single Filipino in the Philippines. So that's why we have Check Me Out that would sort of solve the payments/logistics. Okay. So Check Me Out. So the idea there, when you go to the website, it's a simple page wherein you just type the product you want to sell. You don't even need to register. You just say, I want to sell a, dinosaur plush toy. So you add your product. Then you will be given a link. Okay. So when you have the link, now you can share it in Facebook. Just post the link in Facebook, tweet it, email it, text it. It's just a link. And anyone who clicks on the link would be able to go to a buy now button. Okay. So the process is the seller sets up the account, the left side. Then he can share in the Facebook, either through our system, or you can just post the link. This also works in your fan page. If you don't have a fan page yet, then you should build a fan page, because everybody's in Facebook right now. The fan page is a free page wherein you build your social network, your social credibility. Because a lot of people, before they buy something, they research online. So they want to see the reviews, the comments. So you need to have definitely your own Facebook page. And then you need to spend a bit of money to build it to at least around 10,000 likes in your Facebook page, so that you have some credibility of your brand. So you can send up content, Check Me Out, promote it in Facebook. So the buyer will now, when they see the link, they click on the link. And when they click on the link, I'll show you the actual sites later on. Then now they have they have a lot of different options. They can choose LBC over the counter. They can choose from 25 banks. They can choose PayPal. They can choose credit card. They can even choose cash on delivery, where LBC is strong at. So on this, if it's cash on delivery, the bigger issue is there's a 40% failure rate. Why? Because it's online, right? People just love to click, playing around with it, not really sure what they want to buy, and they click on it, they don't know what to do. So the way we learned through the years is a lot of times the buyers, it's an honest mistake. So for the cash on delivery order to really push through to the seller, is we ask them to confirm via email. So they get an email and they say, hey, you click on cash on delivery for 2,000 pesos for this dinosaur plush toy. Please click the confirm button and be ready with 2,000 pesos to pay for your order. And then we see a drop-off rate of around 40-50% because people don't really, they're just playing around with it. So that sort of helps saves the headache of the seller of paying shipping fees when it's not a real order. So when it's a confirmed order, then the seller will get an email, or they can log in and they can see the different orders they have, then they can process it, and they can schedule a pickup, and then LBC will send the courier to pick it up. If it's cash on delivery, we collect the money, we transmit it to, then we, remit every Wednesday. So this is also something unique. If you go to a lot of different sites, they will probably tell you, you'll get the money in 30 to 60 days. And then for SMEs, cash is king, cash flow is important. So what we do once we get the money, there's certain cutoff, we remit bank-to-bank transfer, BPI to BPI, no charges every Wednesday. So you get the money immediately. And we sort of solve the problem of trust because on the buyer side, we collect the money in behalf of the buyer. The money goes to us first. We pick up from the item from the seller. Then we ship it to the buyer. The buyer has a few days to contest or return it. If the buyer doesn't complain, then we remit the money to the seller. So in case the buyer buys something, the seller is not able to, give the product properly, like not scheduled pickup, in 1 to 2 weeks, we'll just refund the buyer. So that sort of solves both the issues on the buyer and the seller. So basically, that's how the process works for Check Me Out. So basically, why did we do Check Me Out? Basically, the idea is we look as this has leveling the playing field for all retailers. Anything you want to sell, physical goods, you can use Check Me Out. The charges is minimal. So if you go to the bank and you want to register for your merchant ID, like PPI BDO, it's going to take you 6 months to a year and a setup fee of 100,000 pesos for you to get your own credit card access. On our end is we just charge whatever the bank charge, which is 3.5%. Same with cash on delivery. So we charge a fixed 3.5% or 25 pesos. And on the shipping fee is 90% is 3 kilos on e-commerce. So we just made it fixed, 100 pesos Metro Manila, 150 for provincial. So if you compare it, if you go to an LBC branch and ask, hey, how much is your standard 3 kilo? Because it's LBC still delivering. And they'll tell you for Metro Manila it's 200 pesos. So it's a 50% discount because we view that for the SME, for e-commerce to work, you need to make shipping affordable for the buyers because the average ticket size is quite small. It's 1,000 pesos. So if you charge more than 100 for Metro Manila, it's so expensive, buyers would not buy anymore. So registration page-wise, so basically is once you saw their site, let's say dinosaur plush toy, then we can ask you how much is it. You put the price, you put your quantity. So there's an inventory system, and then you can optional. You can upload a picture. So and then these are just initial things. Later on, when you log in, you can put in your logo, change the look and feel, fix your own templates. But basically, for you to be able to sell, you just need the price at this point in time. And then next step is we'll ask your email, your mobile number, so we'll send you a text confirmation that you registered, your password. And then basically we'll show you that, hey, this is how your checkout page would look like. Do you want to promote it in Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, or Tumblr? But if you have a Facebook page, then click yes. If no, then you can still share it whatever you want. And then you have the special link on the left side. So now in case you say, hey, I want to promote in Facebook, so this is how it's going to like. So when buyers click on that, the dinosaur plush toy, oops. So, buyers can now click on it, on the dinosaur plush toy, and then they can proceed to checkout. So, as a seller, you're saying, hey, how do I process, right? So it's so easy to register, but once the sale comes in, what do I do? So basically, we give you, if for bigger companies, you probably heard about NetSuite. So what we did, this all tech is built locally, all Filipinos, all locally done. open source PHP, so it's easy to customize. So basically, we did sort of our own order management system similar to NetSuite. That there's no charge for sellers, so it's a seller dashboard wherein you can process all your orders. So the idea is, how does the checkout page look like? So there's a link. When people click on it, the Denver's dinosaur, that's a logo. It's a standard one. You can change it. Everything, the look and feel, you can change it whatever you want. But if not, then you stick with it. And then there's an automated shipping fee calculator based on the length, width, height, the dimensions of the product you put. So if you see there's Norton, right? What we want to share is Low Trust Society. We did a lot of focus group discussion, and people see that if there's a Norton antivirus, it gives them a peace of mind. So that's why we're emphasizing it. And then it has to be HTTPS because the S stands for secure, because it's basically saying that the information we capture it's secure, hack-proof in a way. So the checkout pages would look like this. Once they click buy now, they can fill up the shipping address. And then once they fill up the shipping address, they can choose the different payment option: credit card, LBC over the counter, different banks, online banking, and the most popular one is cash on delivery. The credit card that we choose is what we call 3D Secure. The beauty about 3D Secure is when a buyer buys something online, if it's a 3D Secure card, like let's say BDO, you will get a one-time PIN. So you need to put in the one-time PIN, or it tells you that someone used this card to purchase something online. This is very important because let's say if you have a car, you give your credit card to a pump attendant, and sad to say, we're not sure what the pump attendant is doing, and the pump attendant might have a smartphone while walking to the cashier, would be taking a picture of your card front and back, and then in the evening now shopping online in Lazada or in Amazon, right? Because they now have your credit card information. So with the 3D Secure card, the beauty there is if someone steals your credit card information, you get a text notification or a one-time PIN. Then you can contest immediately. And then Inati credit card, it's safe to buy via credit card because there's a 6 months, within 6 months, if something online, you can contest it. That's a Visa MasterCard ruling. So because the Visa MasterCard really wants to promote online transactions, so that they made that longer. So you can just call the bank and then contest something that you didn't buy online, and then they're charged back in dispute. So let's say on the seller side, is they need to prove that if it's a 3D Secure card, then you're notified, right? But if it's not, then you're not notified, so that's more headache. And on the other one is non-receipt. Like you bought something online, but you were not able to receive the item. Since we're LBC, we have proof of delivery, so we're able to prove on who actually received it. So after putting the shipping details, then the buyer can choose the payment option. So choose either credit card, LBC, cash on delivery, or whatever they fancy. And once they chose that, basically that's it for the buyer. So it's a very simple process, and then the seller will just need to look at the orders and then schedule a pickup using the system. And LBC will go pick it up, pack it. The courier won't get any money from you because the money is with us, sort of. We sort of collected the shipping fee from the buyer. If it's cash on delivery, let's say it's a failed attempt, it's buyer, we still absorb it because it's a law of averages. Our view is we want to make the seller have that peace of mind that when they use Check Me Out, they don't need to pay those hidden fees. It's just simple 3.5%. On the seller side, they pay for the shipping fee, and the seller, you just get whatever you want to sell less 3.5%, which is, we're just an intermediary. We're LBC. We don't want to make money on payments. We want to make money on logistics. So we're just a middle ground for the credit card company. So when somebody buys something, they get a payment confirmation, to make sure, and they can log in and then cancel it. Basically, I'm nearing the end, waiting for the slide to. Yeah. So, just some plugging. I love shopping. So we have a lot of different products. This is another product, shippingcart.com, wherein it lets you buy things in the US and ship it door to door to the Philippines. The beauty here is we take a picture of the item, because it's about simple, secure, certain, and seamless, right? So again, whenever you build anything or try to deliver an experience, you need to have that simple, certain, secure. So why is it simple? It's easy. You buy, it goes to our US warehouse. It's secure because we take a picture of the item. It's certain because you know it's LBC. Because right now there's a lot of service providers, but they're not the logistics company. We have LBC Mondial Corporation in the USA. We have our own US warehouse. We handle the whole stretch. So you can buy stuff in the US because cross-border is also big. I'm just, so not a lot of time, but something to think about. You want to maximize the Philippines, that's 100 million population. But in reality, the world is 7 billion people. So cross-border is also very important. Sad to say, it's more of US to Philippines and China to the Philippines. But also let's try to broaden our minds that why not Philippines to the rest of the world? So export, right? So basically that's it. There's a panel after and I'll answer more questions later on.